The Minecraft 1.9 PvP updates lasted for over 6 years. At the beginning, most people disliked this update because of the timing and everything. But when YouTubers such as Dream, Technoblade, and Clone Pierce came out, the popularity increased and more players started playing it. Before it became popular though, we need to go back and understand the history first. The first few players that discovered how combat actually works in this new version that made what PvP is today. Before this fight starts though, remember to subscribe because Kenny would say so.
LoCr was not only one of the overall best players of all times, he had the greatest early impact on 1.9 Sword PvP. He is the first person to find out about different kind of hits and swords and gave techniques names that everybody uses now, such as sprint hit combos, sweeps, W taps, and his taps. He was also the first one to discover the possibility of crit combo, sprint critting and dodging hits of others. His discoveries spread around and eventually people learned them all. If LoCr didn't exist in this community, those techniques would be learned possibly years later.
Yuval was recognized as the best by everyone who played in the old meta, including the best players at that time. He was the first one to predict, bait, and adapt to people's moves in PvP. He came up with baiting, crit deflections, and was the creator of the names Punish Crits, No KB Crits, and Double Crits. Yuval has taught countless people, including a lot of tier 1s in earlier and later years both in the old and in the new meta. Yuval was also the first person to start with the concept of 1.9 FF servers.
Tryhard came to 1.9 PvP right after all the old sword gods left and became the start of a new era. They created the best playstyle out there that's unmatched by other styles, leading to a new meta in sword PvP with everyone copying this new playstyle. Tryhard was also considered to be the best player of the time and in his prime. With a good skill gap between him and other players, he later moved on to pop PvP. Became the best in that game mode.
Monkss is mostly known as the person who created the 1.9 PvP tier list, leaving a huge impact on the community because of it. He also created the 1.9 PvP community network that showcases all the 1.9 servers you can play on, a bunch of tournaments, and more. Later on became a top sword player of his time as well.
Mitchell Cycle is essentially the founder of what we now know as Crystal PvP. He was one of the first players ever to use crystals for PvP and invented techniques such as the hit crystal, which is now a staple of the game mode. He also introduced ensures, slow falling arrows, and much more. Mitchell Cycle is undoubtedly the most influential person ever to touch this game mode, and he had an incredible impact on the meta that will carry on for years to come. He was even considered to be one of the best sword players of the old meta.
U404 was the first to properly understand the game mechanics behind Crystal PvP, and used this to invent, master, and popularize various strategies and tactics, including hull fighting, 2 taps, and other pure/crystal strategies. He was also the first high-level player who used the pickaxe, which is now widely used in combat.
And finally, it's Realme. Realme was one of the first people who used anchors. Along with Michael Cycle, he discovered the potential of using anchors aggressively and changed the way people look at them. Not only that, he's also known as one of, if not the best PvPer in 1.9 PvP, with currently no one even close to his level in every scene mode.
Here are some honorable mentions. Madlub was the first player to fully master every component of PvP, making him one of the scariest opponents to duel while prawn, as he could counter everything. He held the #1 spot during late 2020, but was still a top player until later 2021. He was a key player to come in and heal, as he was someone looked up to.
Bartlon is known as one of the best PvPers out there in general, very close behind its Realme. He has a lot of impact to PvP due to his amazing montages inspiring so many players, getting all of them into playing PvP, especially in crystals, pot, and netherite pot.
Monkss was a tier 1 player in the old meta, and was the one to invent uppercuts. Monkss first called them Wuju style, which is a martial art of a monkey character in League of Legends, and then he went on to name the Monkss uppercuts. Good people started to copy him and learned how to use it effectively.
Apollo achieved a groundbreaking proficiency with anchors and the pickaxe. Used this mechanical and strategic skill to popularize metas and strategies used in the newer era of PvP, such as hole fighting and the use of the pickaxe.
All these players had a huge impact on the 1.9 community, and PvP would be very different without them. I put the link to the 1.9 PvP guide in the description that contains more information about these legends if you are interested. Okay, now subscribe.